It's another beautiful Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here again to talk sports, to do what we know how to do best, hoping that someday the decay in the sporting sector in this country will be cured. Trent, how are you this morning?
Well, I'm happy and I'm fine. Well, we are counting down to the start of the new NPFL season, and I think talking about the decay in sports, well, sporting activity has been giving me joy because from the D-Tigers, now the D-Tigers. So I think in the course of the show, we'll tell you what has really happened to them because of they keep keeping the flag flying. So let's get into business.
Yes, talking about what has been happening over the week, D-Tigers have been ranked 8th by FIBA in the world. Trent, this is such a good record. We've seen them performing so well. We've seen them win the 7th title as far as the Women Basketball Afro Championship is concerned, and they've done it 5 back-to-back for 5 years. Trent, such a wonderful record by a women team in Africa.
Well, I'm really happy that it has gone beyond them dominating Africa. At least they're in the world stage now, and they are being ranked among the first 10. They are 8th in position. The last time they were in that ranking, they were 11th, so they have moved 3 points higher, and that shows you that if the right thing is done, they will always get the results. And it's not just dominating Africa. They have been dominating Africa both in women's football and now the women's basketball team too, dominating Africa and dominating, not like they're not dominating the world, but at least they are getting into the conversation in the world. They are getting into the radar in the world stage, and I'm really happy for them. That's to show you that Remo Wakama, she's not just joking. She's not just dominating Africa. She's taking the girl to global stages, and I'm happy that it's happening now because years back, you will not even see the D-Tigers in maybe the first 20 and all of that. And they are the only team in the first 15 from Africa in the FIBA ranking. So that's to show you that Nigeria, anytime they talk about women's sport in Nigeria, I think we are always up there. It's just the men's that gives us heart attack and all of that. But I think it's a very good motivation. It's a very good one. After the FIBA AfroBasket, women's AfroBasket, that after they won it, I think that have given them the edge over some other teams like Mali, some other teams like that competed in that very encounter too. So now, it's not just dominating Africa. When you go there, I always say that these rankings are just numbers. These rankings are just getting you to the best teams and all of that. You are the best team when you win a trophy on the global stage. You are the best team when you win a tournament on the global stage. You are the best team when you come out like second best on the global stage. So the ranking are just numbers. You can do better than that. Even though you are ranked first and you don't win something on the global stage, it doesn't mean anything. The ranking, I didn't mean even though they were ranked 10th or they were ranked 20th, as long as they won the FIBA AfroBasket right here in Africa, I think they are one of the best. They are the best in Africa. So I think that those are just numbers. But those numbers are just counting for you when you win games, the number of games you've won over the years. And I think your performance, even though you don't win the title, but your performance, if you performed very well, maybe you reach the finals, you reach the semi-finals and all of that, that's what accumulates your points moving forward in the FIBA rankings. But for me, I think you can always do better on the global stage. Anytime you go to the World Championship in basketball, make sure that you get the job done. You cannot just dominate Africa alone. We are tired of dominating Africa. Me, by myself, I'm tired for the D-Tigers dominating Africa. They can always do better anytime they go for World Championship.
Well, the ranking is not just numbers as far as the D-Tigers is concerned because, they are the champions. And the female sports contenders right here in Nigeria are not doing badly. They are doing us proud, and we hope we'll see the replicate in the D-Tigers because also in the championship going on right now, D-Tigers are doing us proud. I hope they continue like that. I hope they go beyond the group stages and maybe come back with the trophy. Trent, what do you think about the position of the D-Tigers at the moment?
Well, coming back with the trophy, I think it's a very good one. Let's just keep hope alive. Let's not forget that when they qualified from this very group, they won their first game against Mozambique. The second game they won against Tunisia, and I think that's like a very big one because so many people were saying that this Tunisia are the defending champions of this very competition right here in Africa. That if you can win against Tunisia, that means you can win any other game. But not winning any other game, you face Angola, a very resolute side when it comes to basketball in Africa. And winning Tunisia, I think that's giving them the edge, and that's giving the morale booster is there, the momentum is there. They have something to build on. Since we can win a country like Tunisia, a team like Tunisia, definitely when we meet the likes of Angola, we'll just sail past Senegal to and all of that. So I think it's a very good one, but it's all about the urgency. I always say that so many times we think about teams that are very difficult, and we fail to think about the teams that we find not difficult to us, because everyone was thinking about their first game against Mozambique, they crushed it. Their second game against Tunisia, they crushed it. Now, after the group stages, the round of 16, the quarterfinals, the semis, and even the finals, if they get to reach the finals. So I think they should just take it one game at a time, one game at a time. Don't look down on your opponents. That's why I keep telling, and anything can happen at any time. Don't look down on your opponent, because the one you're looking down at, that's the one that can come biting. It has happened before in sports concerning Nigerian teams on the continent of Africa. So if you can just play like the D-Tigers, keep hope alive, take every game as if it's your last game. Take every game as if it's your last game. Definitely, I think they are going to have a podium finish, but reaching the finals, if they get to reach the finals, I just hope they will not flatter the receive, because it's men's football. Not men's football, come on, I'm too used to men's football. It's men's sports, men's basketball, and I think they have these genes, this men something, football, basketball, as far as it's men. And anytime they reach the final, my hopes are always, I don't know, they're always down there. I don't raise my hopes, because anything can happen. But if it's the women, come on, it's easy peasy. They'll just sail through. But I think I still say this, that they are doing well. I think they are doing well, and they should just calm down. The $100,000, just win it, and we are going to fight for you people. Don't worry, just win the AfroBasket. We will definitely fight for you people. But big ups to them, big ups to the technical crew, to all of them. They are doing very well. The big names in the team too. I really want to see them shining high, not just Africa, but on the global stages too.
Well, there's this thing. A lot of attention is being paid into football in Nigeria. Other sports are not enjoying the amount of attention that is given to football. But at the moment, it seems basketball is really giving us the glory that we deserve as a nation. Okay, so I don't know because I don't think we pay that much attention to basketball in Nigeria currently. Because if you check out the crop of players that makes up the team, both the female team and the male team of the basketball team, most of these players, if not all of these players, they play in America.
Colleges in America.
Yeah, we don't have a basketball league in this country that is running.
So I understand.
It's difficult to say you have players from within, domestic players from within, to pick up and make up a team.
And the thing is that I tend to understand that if you have a very good league in basketball in Nigeria, it will not be like it will be better than the NPFL, because all these things we are seeing in the NPFL, I don't think we'll be seeing it in the basketball league in Nigeria. But I think the basketball, River Supers, they are the face of basketball in Nigeria. Apart from the D-Tigers and the D-Tigers, River Supers are the face of basketball in Nigeria. So the problem boils down to the NSC. What are you really doing? The NFF, they have something. I think they call them, I think for basketball, NBF or something like that. The NFF have something. They have a structure, and they are following that structure every season. Now, the NSC, what's the structure? What kind of structure do you have for the Association of Basketball Federation in Nigeria? I don't think there is a good structure, because if there is a good structure, then the way we run the NPFL, I think that's the way we are supposed to run the basketball league too, because all the states are supposed to have a basketball team representing them, both male and female category. Even though you want to do that, I understand in Nigeria all these conference stuffs is really, really affecting, because teams will be looking at, will I now start traveling from the south to the north, from the south to the west, from the west to the north? So you can just do it like the NWFL or the NNL, where we have the Southern Conference and we have the Northern Conference. The Southern Conference we're pairing with the West and with the East too. So to make it much easier that way. So if they are looking for a structure, they should copy the NNL. I don't mean just copy the structure. I don't mean you should copy the other part of NNL.
But Trent, hold on. There's something you said. You said if there's a league that is running, you would advise that all the states in the country should have a basketball team.
Yeah.
Playing in the league.
Yeah.
So now, let me ask you. Are you comfortable with the situation currently in the NPFL, in football, where states own clubs in the NPFL? Would you like to see that happening in basketball?
I'm not saying that all the states should have a basketball team doesn't mean that it should be funded by the state government of that team. Maybe an investor from any state, Bayelsa State, an investor from Kano State can just say, okay, I love basketball. I want my team to be playing competitive basketball. You get, so he just comes, register in the league and start playing, and that's how they started. It's not a must that a state should have a basketball team. I'm not saying it's a must, it's not a must, but maybe all the states should have like a basketball team. But it can be state funded, it can be privately funded, but all the states should just have a basketball team. That's what I'm saying. It must not be state funded, please. The one we are seeing in the NPFL is enough.
Anyway, for record purposes, I would say here that I am one person who would not like to see basketball league in this country and we have state-owned clubs running in that league, because already I'm fed up with what's happening in football. So I don't think that's a good thing that will happen in Nigeria. Trent, I don't think it's a good thing.
The problem is that
to happen.
It's just that the state already have dented the image of sport in Nigeria, because so many investors will be like, why do I want to invest in basketball? What is the return of investment? Because of this is investment. Investors will always want profit. They always want return on investment, because they cannot just start splashing their money and spending their money. Most of the investors currently, they don't know long-term investment. They don't know how long-term investment works, because setting up that kind of stuff in Nigeria, that's like a long-term investment. You have to wait for like 10 years before you start getting return of investment. But I think it boils down to good education. Not like, I'm not saying the investors are not educated. Maybe they should just do good awareness rather, not education, good awareness, making sure that they know that we really need this. That with this, you can bring sponsors from America. Because if they just hear that, okay, there's a basketball league here, they can do something. Other countries in Africa, there is a good basketball league running there. See Angola, see Sudan too. There's a good basketball running there. So it just boils down to the awareness and what NSC are really doing. What kind of attention are they paying to sport apart from football in Nigeria? Talking about basketball, talking about tennis, talking about even the athletes, the AFN too. They are flattering to deceive every time. So I think it boils down to the NSC. Bring a structure, and I think the federal government will look for a way to work with that structure.
Well, Trent, you just mentioned Sudan, and I don't know, I was almost feeling feverish when you mentioned Sudan. Why? But for those of you who are just joining us, this is the Locker Room Central, and if you're just joining us for the first time, please follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is where you need to be. Trent, Sudan. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you said earlier that the D-Tigers should not look down on their opponents. That is exactly what the Chan Eagles did, looking down on their opponents, and look at what happened.
Well, see, this stuff the problem is from every corner. It's from everywhere. We will not start blaming the downfall of the Chan Eagles on Eric Seguchel. I cannot blame it.
I didn't say that.
I cannot blame it. So many people are blaming it on him. I'm seeing on X and everywhere that they are blaming Eric Seguchel because he's the coach and he's the one standing between the lines for the Chan Eagles. Why would you blame him? This man is barely like one season in Nigeria, NPFL. First of all, this is only in Nigeria I see the coach of the team A is still the same coach of the team B. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would you bring someone to coach a team that he doesn't know anything about the league? The league is not even well structured, and you are bringing a foreigner to come and coach the side.
No, Trent. Let's not talk about the league being well structured or not today. That's not what we're going to talk about. What we should talk about, I think, does Eric Shell understand the league? That's where he should stand from.
He doesn't understand the league.
Who does he know as a player in the league? Because we've seen from the first two matches we saw, how can you bench the highest goal scorer in the league who have scored 17 goals?
18 goals.
Okay, sorry about that. 18 goals for his club, and you're now playing a striker who have scored only 4 goals for his club. You started that striker in the first match, you started that striker again in the second match, and you did not even play the highest goal scorer in the second match, and you lost the game again. How do you explain this?
He lost the game woefully. 4-0, right?
4-0 against Sudan. Trent, Sudan.
I see. Why are you saying Sudan as if the Sudanese league is better than the NPFL? The Sudanese league is ranked 10th in the CAF rankings. The NPFL is ranked 14th. So the Sudanese league is 4 points better than the NPFL, and they beat Nigeria 4-0.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
But how do we get away from here? Because Eric Shell, I think, in my own opinion, shouldn't have been the man by the sidelines.
Yeah.
Okay. We have local coaches. We have the coach of Remo Stars right there. We have the coach of Rangers.
Yeah.
They understand the boys. They know who should be in that team. Now, the selection, how did they go about the selection? Those are the questions we should ask. How did they go about the selection? Is it because, okay, now there's this conversation that Remo Stars won the league, and because of that, we see 9 Remo Stars players in that squad. Not just making it to the squad, making it to the starting lineup. The first game we saw 8 Remo Stars players in the starting lineup, and the second game we saw 7 of them in the starting lineup. I mean, how is that possible? How is that possible? Seriously, how is that possible? Because there's this conversation again that, because here we say the things exactly the way it is. There's this conversation that there is some underhand dealings, or how else would I say this now? Because there's no other way to say this to make it sound better. That the CEO of Remo Stars, talking about Honorable Kunle Tsunami, has been doing favors to the NFF. And this was the time for NFF to return the favor by taking along 9 players from Remo Stars, taking them to Chan, allegedly, for an easy marketing strategy for Honorable Kunle Tsunami. Trent, is this how we intend to run football in this country?
Well, if it is the favors, I'll say yes. Kunle Tsunami has been doing NFL the favor, but for marketing his players, Kunle Tsunami is not begging to market his players. He has the way to market his players. Clean. He has agents outside. He has a club outside Nigeria. So I think the marketing part, I think is false.
No,
it's false. The marketing part is false. But talking about starting 8 or 7 NPFL players from Remo Stars, I think that's absurd. That's absurd. And if maybe the influence of Kunle Tsunami is one of the reasons why they started here, I think that's a very bad. That's bad reason to start. That's a very bad reason, and I don't see why you will start 8 players because it's Kunle Tsunami's team. It doesn't make sense. If you call Kunle Tsunami today, you will deny the fact that you're saying it will be like the Remo Stars, the Ikenes Township Stadium have been given to you people. It's just that you people need it, and the value jet that carries the Super Eagles of Nigeria, you people need it, and all of that. Is that, I don't know, the NFF and the NFF boss, the board of the NFF, I think they are the one putting themselves in this position, because I've not heard and I've not seen anywhere them making a deal with Kunle Tsunami. This team, you know that Kunle Tsunami is an investor. He's a businessman, for crying out loud. He's a businessman, and anytime you go to a businessman, you have to go professionally. You don't have to go as if it's your brother or it's your sister or it's your, you know him, your relative or stuff. You have to go with him professionally. Give him something on the table. If you should come into an agreement, say, okay, this and so this, anytime the Super Falcons are coming, because of most of the time the Super Falcons uses their pitch, anytime the Super Falcons are coming, this is how much we'll be giving to you for the next 5 years. Anytime the Super Eagles are coming, we'll be using your airlines for the next 10 years. You make a deal, you cut a deal with him and pay him. He's a businessman, for crying out loud. Now, the Remo Township Stadium that they have been using now is like, the NFF is like, okay, we are doing you a favor because of we are coming to your pitch to play. Is that how it's supposed to be?
No, hold on.
It doesn't make sense.
How are you doing him a favor?
That's the mentality they use.
Because
that's the mentality NFF uses. The NFF chairman will say, okay, he might call maybe Gospel Akpabio International Stadium because that's the best stadium. Trust me, if there's any other stadium currently in Nigeria or in the nearest future that is up to the standard of Gospel Akpabio, that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing there, We'll be like, we'll call Akwa Ibom State government. We want to use your pitch, but these people have come and they say they are going to give us this. They make it look like a favor they are doing instead of them to do the right thing. That is where the problem is. They make it look like a favor. That's why, because even though the Super Falcons comes and do not play in the Remo Stars Township Stadium, they will go to Abuja and play. Because I think the Super Falcons used to play there. They'll go to Abuja and play. But because they cannot do this to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because of the Super Eagles, the Gospel Club International Stadium is the only approved stadium that the Super Eagles can play. So they have no other option than to come here and play. But trust me, in the nearest future, if there is any other stadium that is up to the standard that the Super Eagles can play, they will start these politics and bargaining again. So I think they make it look like a favor they are doing to maybe the owner of the stadium. That's it. They make it look like it's a favor they are doing to what's his name, Kunle Tsunami, for Value Jet. Come on, this is business. You're supposed to be paying. Maybe they might be paying, or maybe they are not paying. That's why they call up their players to the Super Eagles. Maybe that's the deal they have. Okay, you will use your Value Jet. Since they are not paying me, then you have to put in slot in my players. Why won't you? You definitely agree and put the money inside your pocket, because I know that the federal government of Nigeria have been allocating funds for that.
Now, this is the thing. You tried out in the first game. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Why did you have to try the same strategy again in the second game? If there is nothing to hide, if there is nothing that was done, why did we see that happen again?
Most of the time, you know what always happens in Nigerian football? Anytime players from the NPFL are being called up, maybe to the Super Eagles or to the Chan Eagles, something always happens. The main reason is not even to win the tournament. The main reason is to visualize the players, give them the visibility out there so that scouters can see them and want to sign them. For example, look at Papa Mustafa Daniel. From Niger Tornadoes, he got called up from the Super Eagles. He did not play the first game. I don't think he played the first game. It was the game in Nigeria. I think he had some minutes. Then after that was the charity game. He played. Before then, he heard that Papa Mustafa Daniel has gone out. He has gotten another an offer from a club, I think Slovenia or something like that. Now, since all the season he has been playing in Niger Tornadoes, why didn't he go out? But immediately you just get called up from the Super Eagles or the Chan Eagles. You see, that's the visibility it's giving you. And now all these players here, the coaches are there. You don't expect Daniel Ogumudede to say that, okay, this player is not better than my player. Most of the players in the squad are his players. Even though he knows the truth, he will not want to tell Eric Seguchel. He'll be like, okay, don't you know that Daniel Ogumudede knows that Anas Yusuf is better than Sikiru Alimi? But he keeps starting Sikiru Alimi. Did he tell Eric Chel that, come on, we should not start this young man, we should start Anas? He did not. Because they are his players.
Now, don't you think that's wrong? Because according to you, allegedly, there is some external forces.
External, it's not. This one is not allegedly. There is external forces.
Okay, yeah. So don't you think, you said earlier that Honorable Kunle Tsunami has his strategies, has his own ways of selling players and all of that. Don't you think this is also a strategy? Let's go to Chan. File in my players. Let's go to Chan. This will work for me.
I don't think this is a way. Beyond Limit does not go to Chan, but it still sells the player.
Trends, that is Beyond Limit we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Beyond Limit go for international.
Let's not forget, Sikiru Alimi traveled out from the nation to play for a club. He came back. Sadiq Ismail is right back. He traveled out. He came back. So selling players should not be a problem for Remo Stars. They have a team outside. Selling players should not be a problem. How do we unravel
this right now?
Because
there's something somewhere. You can't tell me that there is nothing and we see 9 players of Remo Stars right there in that squad and 8 of them will start.
The downfall of the Chan Eagles started when Saviour Isaac, Papa Mustafa Daniel and Waliyu left. Those were the people that were holding this midfield. Those were the people that were holding this team. Those were the people that qualified Nigeria, beat Ghana to qualify Nigeria to the Chan tournament. Let's not forget that. Players have left, about 5 integral players that were very, very important to the team. They left. So now those players left. There are some clubs that if one player is injured, the rest are injured too. The team is injured too. So I think that's like one of the basic factors. Then the second one is that until I realized that it's only Eric Seguchel that calls the shot, that's when I'll forgive Daniel Ogumudede and Fidelity Electrical, because they are the main failures. They These are NPFL. I said it before. The Fidelis Lechuku have started following this NPFL before I was born. Why are you failing at this point in time when I'm grown? Why are you failing? They are the real failures because why would they be seeing something and still be keeping quiet? Because it's Eric Seguchel. So I don't know. Maybe when they are back, we'll definitely hear gist. I trust the internet. I trust the media. We'll definitely hear gist if Eric Seguchel is the main man that called all the shots for the Chan Eagles. Let's not forget, the World Cup qualifiers is looking around. The AFCON is looking around. Is this the kind of set of coaches we are going to use? Imagine, you cannot even excel in the Chan and you want to go and excel in AFCON or in the World Cup qualifiers. See, that's the problem. And this boils down to NFF too. Why are we always finding it very difficult to have coaches that coaches the boys in Nigeria?
Well, I think this is a situation where we want to kill the bird with one stone. How do they say?
Kill two birds with one stone.
Kill two birds with one stone. Yeah,
they want to kill Super Eagles and kill Chan Eagles.
Chan Eagles.
They don't kill anyone.
Even at the end of the day,
the
two don't sleep. But it's quite unfortunate that this is happening to our football here in Nigeria. Talking about the Chan Eagles. Well, I don't know. Well, this set of players, this crop of players, I don't know how they will do it when they are coming back because as it is right now, there's nothing for them. They just have to play for playing sake because they have to complete the number of matches they have to play in the game.
Imagine Leon and Genge from Remo Stars. Normally, when he was playing for Ikorodu, I understand that he did very well. But now, you saw the kind of performance against Senegal. He caused the goal. He started him again. He caused the penalty. And he caused another goal. What happened? Why can't you substitute him and bring in another defender? Defenders, yakpa. Defenders are there. What happened? Now, Eric Seguchel or maybe Daniel Ogumudere, you cannot tell them. It doesn't make sense now. Rotate the squad for crying out loud. Rotate the squad. You see the kind of performance against Senegal. You see, they not deliver. Rotate the squad.
Trent.
Why will you play 10 minutes without one shot on target?
Trent, you know that thing they used to say, who's your daddy? I think that's what's happening right now in the Chan Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Locker Room Central. Please, if you're just joining us, follow us on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's go away from that tragedy of Chan Eagles. Let's talk Bayelsa Queens. That is the club side in Nigeria, the female club side in Nigeria who's doing us proud. They are preparing for the CAF.
Yeah, I think
good things happening right there.
Anytime we talk about sports in Nigeria, or if you finish talking about the men's side, you just look for a way to make me smile about these ladies because I think they are the only one making us proud. They're the only one making us proud because, see, they are doing very well in the league here. In the continent, they are doing very well. It's very difficult before I even hear in the NPFL that they play the game till 89 minutes and you don't even know what is happening again in the game. The game is always 90 minutes and it's done and dusted. You don't have the situation where ref will be fighting. Very rare in the NPFL. In the NWFL, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's very, very rare. So, Bayelsa Queens, once again in the continent of Africa, I think they are the only team that have gone far in the continent of Africa when you talk about CAF because of they reached a podium finish from years back and they are back again in the WAFU. Many people are thinking that okay, since it's Ghana, I think they should be worried. Why I say they should be worried is that the way football has revolved in the continent of Africa has been drastic, like it has revolved drastically high. Because look at that time, if they mention Ghana, we'll say it's not Ghana. Togo, is it not Benin Republic? That's like the team they are going to face. We will just look down on them and say they are going to crush them. But now, the police ladies of Ghana, this is the first time they will be in the continent in their history. And I think they are new babies. But also Queens, they understand the antics. They understand what it takes to qualify from the WAFU qualifiers of the CAF Women's Champions League to the main Champions League proper. So the problem is not just dominating in West Africa. I always say this, that in Nigeria, yeah, we have the history of dominating Africa. We have the history of sailing past Africa and West Africa rather in the continent. It's when we get to the real stage, we get to the proper stage. That's when we flatter to deceive. Now they were playing against a team from Benin. They were playing against a team from Togo. They were playing against a team from Ghana too. That's from Benin. They were playing against some Nelly Football Club. While from Togo they were playing against ASKO. That's the like abbreviation of the team. So it's not don't just look down on them. I think for Bayelsa Queens, since they won the league and the first meeting they had, the first what will I say, welcoming, they welcomed them. It was with handshake. I thank God that it's not even thanking God. Well, I thank God, but it's because the Super Falcons were giving something, $100,000. That was why the governor of Bayelsa State rose up. He said, okay, it's time. Because he knew that they will come for him. He knew that will come for him. Definitely. Remo Stars of Ikene won the league. Did you see what Kunle Seminari did to all his players? He gave them things, good things. He shook them not only by hand, but their pocket too. So these ladies now, they have played a whole game. They went to the Super 6. They played. They won. They qualified for the continent, and you gave them nothing. Until then, it doesn't make sense, please. It doesn't make sense. I think the motivation is there now. Now they see that okay, if we can be the champions in Nigeria, that means and we have gotten this. That means if we be the champions, or maybe we reach the finals of the CAF Women's Champions League, we'll definitely get something. So it's not always in vain. It's not always in vain. And we have seen the way cash prizes have been changing in football in Africa. At the end of the day, I think when the CAF Women's Champions League starts proper, we will see a new maybe prize money from CAF talking about the women's football. So I think it's not only Abia Warriors them and all those Rivers United and Kwara United that will be collecting $100,000. I think at least if you qualify for the continent of Africa from the ladies too, at least $50,000 should be given to you, because come on, it's not easy. It's not easy to win the league here, to qualify from the West African WAFU B and enter into the competition proper. So I think something should be done. Even though they don't win it, I think they are going to be receiving cash prizes just for qualifying from the WAFU B into the CAF Women's Champions League proper.
Well, we hope that happens anytime soon, because it's a good thing that what was promised by the Bayelsa State governor was given, not like in something, in some other quarters where we hear this and that and stuff. But again, we hope better things ahead for the female football here in Nigeria. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back. As the countdown continues, we are all set for the return of the NPFL 2025-2026 season. Trent, it's almost here. 4 p.m. on Friday, Remo Stars will take on Rivers United. What an encounter that will be.
I don't know why the NPFL board set that fixture. That fixture is like a fixture that is supposed to be like match day maybe 10 or match day 14 in the NPFL board. Picking the champions and the runner-up last season to start to open the league, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's going to be, well, it's actually very nice, because there will be agenda, there will be banter, there will be so many things. Because if Remo Star loses this match, hey, number one, they will start dragging them based on CHAN levels. After CHAN levels, they will start explaining how they will even qualify in the CAF prelim. Then after that, they will now start talking about them in the NPFL. So you all should just get ready, fasten your seatbelt, lace your boots, pick your jerseys, because see, next season will be long. Other leagues have started, but you see in the NPFL, next season will definitely be long.
Well, Trent, for me, I think it's a very interesting fixture, because I think this is a call from the NPFL board saying, Remo Stars, Rivers United, please come show us how you want to perform in
the CAF.
In the CAF, yeah. So I think it's a very interesting.
Well, you see, Rivers United, those guys. See, those guys. Have you seen their signing? Those guys ripped him apart.
Well, okay, now Trent, let's look at it this way. We've not really seen Remo Stars buying new players this summer.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of buys from Rivers United. We've seen players moving from Khalifa to Rivers United. We've seen a whole lot of movement.
Players even from Akwa United to Rivers United.
To Rivers United, yes. And very key component of some of these clubs here moving to Rivers United. Now, what do you think, from your own perspective, how do you think, what exactly do you think will be the outcome of this match? Rivers United, considering the fact that they've bought a lot of players from other clubs, and Remo Stars, with their performance of last season and with their performance in Chan, what do you think the outcome of this match is going to be like?
Well, the NPFL is back. The NPFL will be the NPFL. The NPFL is not Chan. You can play 120 minutes in the NPFL, but you cannot play 120 minutes in the Chan. 90 minutes in 90 minutes. No buying of matches, no fixing of matches in the Chan. But you see in the NPFL, I'm not saying there's no fixing of matches, and I'm not saying there's fixing of matches too. So, against Rivers, Remo against Rivers. Remo have done one very important signing. Victor Mboma is back at Remo Stars. And you know Victor Mboma, if he's on the pitch of play, he can get you goals anytime, any day. But look at Rivers United, a very resolute side. From Ubong Friday to Sheyi Oguntayo to Anikeme Okun to so many players. See, Rivers, if they want to go with this mindset that the NPFL should change, the NPFL, the competition should be up there, I think Rivers should win. But with the fact that they are playing away from home, and we always know this home syndrome in the NPFL, that one must win or draw. That's it. So, and I think for Remo Stars, let's not forget that most of their players were called up for Chan. We're playing against Congo on Tuesday, that's tomorrow. And after that game, I think so many of their players should come back. But now coming back to play on Friday again, maybe when they finish against Congo, they'll have to wait. Maybe on Wednesday they'll book a flight, come back to Nigeria, match fatigue and all of that. Despite they did not do anything, but they will say they are tired because of the transit and all of that. But if they have another set of players that will play their games against Rivers United will beat them. So even though Remo Stars use their player that went for Chan, Rivers United will still beat them. So I'm giving this game to Rivers United. I think Rivers United will win. If they play the way I see them play in the preseason or in the friendlies, they'll win. Rivers United.
All right, Trent. Let's also dive deep into the performance of the debutants, Kun Khalifat FC and also Barrow FC. Let's see in match day 1, Kun Khalifat will be playing against Rangers, and Barrow FC will play against Enyimba. Barrow FC at home against Enyimba, and Kun Khalifat away to Rangers.
Barrow
What
FC,
an encounter!
There will be one shocker, but I don't know if it's coming from Kun Khalifa. So many people are expecting so much from Kun Khalifa because of the way they performed last season in the NNL, and I think they deserve that expectations too, because the way they were set up, the way they played their games, the kind of away points they pick. If they play better than the way they performed last season against Rangers, I think they will seal a draw. At least a draw should do for Kun Khalifat.
You know, Kun Khalifat have really engaged in a preseason. They had a lot of preseason preparations, and also Kun Khalifat FC. I hear they had a whole lot of preparations during the preseason, and Enyimba didn't do too well in the preseason preparations. So, how do you think the performance of the preseason will be the outcome of the match day 1?
The performance of the preseason will not be the outcome of match day 1, because if the performance was to be so many teams, big teams would have been winning, because you expect big teams to win their first game of the season so that they will build momentum. That's what I'm saying. Rangers against Kun Khalifa, it's like a derby. Yeah, both Igbo from the east. It's like a derby, and it will really bring big rivalry between these two. And they're going to the cathedral to play. They are not even playing at home. Yeah, so I think for me, if Kun Khalifa should get a draw, that would be very good for them. But Rangers, on the other hand, they want to come back. They want to win the title once again, so that they will have 9 NPFL titles, and Yembatu will have 9 NPFL titles. There's no record champion and all of that. I think that's what Rangers want to do this season. They want to win the league again, and Fidelis Lechiku is going to come back. You know Fidelis Lechiku, when he's on the sidelines, you know what he can do. You know how he can read games and change game and all of that. But if Kun Khalifa can bring the spirit from the NNL down to the NPFL, I think they will start winning games.
Now, but Kun Khalifat FC, don't forget Kun Khalifat FC. Their goalkeeper, their goalkeeper had left he left to Rivers United just recently, and they've done a whole lot of buys this preseason. They are trying to build the team. You know, these are players who were not all together when they played in the NNL. So this is a team that's trying to build up now, making them understand themselves as a unit. So don't you think that can also be a factor?
And
in the outcome of this game.
if they use the players they brought from the NNL, people will be saying that why would you use NNL players, like players that played in the NNL for the NPFL? That these different competition, these higher competition, you should get new players. And I think they did the right thing, because you don't expect a team to get promoted and still use the same players they use in the NNL. It doesn't make sense. You have to bring in new players that have new way of approaching the game. They were even supposed to have a new coach, but all things being equal, if they flat out to deceive between match day 1 and match day 10, I expect them to sack the coach, bring another coach, because I think Qualifiers is like Ikorodu City. I think they will do the same thing Ikorodu City last season in the NPFL. But for Barra FC against Ehimba, I don't see Barra FC winning Ehimba, even at home. I don't see them winning Ehimba.
Why so?
See Ehimba record champions. Ehimba is Ehimba. Ehimba and Zobo people. Don't
forget, Barra FC have been properly motivated. The players of Barra FC have been properly motivated. Yeah, and that can also be a factor.
It can also be a factor. I understand that. Yeah, the motivation is there, but you are playing against one of the best side in the history of the NPFL.
And they are playing in Kano. I mean, this is Kano where the home fans are always right there to support their team.
We have not seen Barra FC yet, home fans and all of that. Like Kano Pillars, not like Kano Pillars. Barra FC is Barra FC. Kano Pillars is Kano Pillars. If it was Kano Pillars against Ehimba at home, I would say okay, yeah. But Barra FC against Ehimba at home, if they win, it will be a shocker, and it will mean that things are changing too. We're always clamoring for away victories, so maybe Ehimba will start picking away points too regularly, away victories rather regularly. So against Barra FC, I don't really see a shocker in that game. But you see Kun Khalifa against Rangers International. That's where I see blood, sweat, and grit.
Well, okay. Now let's talk about another NPFL team who is represented us in CAF. Abia Warriors against Kano Pillars. Match day 1.
That's super.
What's your take on this? Because we've seen Abia Warriors, they've not done badly during the preseason. They've been properly motivated. They've prepared well. We've heard the things they've been doing during the preseason. Also, Kano Pillars. Recently, they have the support of their general manager, who is also a player in the club. So, what do you think is going to be the outcome of this match?
Well, what Kano Pillars will be trying to avoid is that they are trying to avoid that media dragging. Because if they get to lose their first match, after all the media buzzwords unveiling and also all the partnership deals with the media house, I think they will not want to lose their first match. That's like what they'll be trying to avoid, first of all. But Abia Warriors do not think about teams like they don't really count any team. I don't want to use any vulgar word here, but they don't really take any team serious. They'll just say we want to get this victory, and anytime they are locked in to get a victory, that's how Abia Warriors play. Imam Mapakabo is the one that took Abia Warriors to that place they are now on the continent. So I think they want to get that victory against Kano Pillars so that they'll shut mouth up, because they want to be motivated before going to the CAF tournament. So I think that would be like that. Let's not even get it twisted. That might likely be like the game of the week, even than this Remo Rivers. That might likely be like the best game of the match they won, apart from the Remo Rivers. The Remo versus Rivers might not even live up to expectation, but you see Abia Warriors Kano Pillars, it will definitely live up to expectation, because we want to see so many things. And let's not forget, Kano Pillars got a new coach and they're still trying to synergize. Imam Makapabo, he has stayed with the team, Abia Warriors, and he understands everything and he just knows how to get the victory for the guys. But new coach at Kano Pillars, he will try. He will say, give him time, and all of that. They're not giving Imama time, and Imama will not give you time to score you first, or to score him first, or maybe win, something like that. So I think Abia Warriors will pick a point. This is the problem with NPFL. It's always very difficult. Abia Warriors will win Kano Pillars. Let me just say that. I want to be optimistic about them. Abia Warriors will win Kano Pillars.
Okay, well, let's see how that goes. Another team that I'm sure would interest you, Trent. Shooting Stars against Bayelsa United.
You're not interesting, I beg.
Because you've paid so much attention to Shooting Stars.
Shooting Stars, see, I'm not. It's not. They want to win the league. Shooting Stars, they don't even want to go for CAF tournament. They want the league, and I know, but they are not going to get the league. That's just the sad truth. Shooting Stars are not winning the league. They are not winning the NPFL 2026. But against Bayelsa United, let them just go and rest somewhere. They're not struggling last season. Shooting Stars, at some point, Shooting Stars is a team that in the first stanza of the season, they're always very hot like that. And with the whole signing, with the whole hype, with the whole coach, Nuruddin, Aweroro, and all of that, bringing out 9 people that will be backroom staff and all of that, Shooting Stars will win against Bayelsa at home, right? At the Lekon Salami Stadium. Shooting Stars win Bayelsa. Easy game for them. But this is always the NPFL. Everything will want to start on a bad note, and that's what Bayelsa United will want to avoid. So I think Bayelsa United will be going there just for 1 point. They'll be going there for 3 points, but if they get 1, that's very good. But if Shooting Stars does not win this game, if they don't win, agenda. If they draw, agenda. The only way agenda will not come for them is if they win. And if they win the game, trust me, I think they will be up and doing. But I think Shooting Stars are always distracted at the beginning of the second stanza. That was what happened to them last season. I can remember Shooting Stars 6 games, 6 clean sheets, 6 wins, scoring goals. At least they got the victory and all of that. But distraction before Abia Warriors came knocking, Rivers United too came knocking and got them the way they were last season. But against Bayelsa United, they should get the victory. It should be an easy one for them.
Well, match day 1 in the NPFL, we will pay close attention to these matches and we'll bring you up to speed with everything happening around these matches. And also we'll pay much attention to the teams that are representing us in CAF. Trends, something beautiful, something, when I like good news.
I know you like them.
I like good news.
But sometimes I don't like them.
Why so?
Because you don't have the agenda to agenda for somebody.
Wow.
Or you don't have the avenue to agenda for somebody.
Anyway, something interesting that the NPFL board has said that every team in the NPFL should ensure they present their coach for post-match interview at the end of the match. Not like what we used to see before now, where a coach, because you're losing, will boycott the post-match press conference, or you see a coach because something did not go in their favor, maybe the ref in their agenda did not work out the way it was planned. They will just walk out and abandon the post-match press conference.
Well, they're talking about post-match press conference when who will be covering all the matches in the NPFL. You're talking about the press conference, and you're not even talking about the partners or how we'll be seeing the visualizer and everything, because I think when the game is done, we should be seeing it before maybe the online streaming or the TV is being cut out. Like the match is ended.
Well, I think for me, I think it's a step, okay? We can't get everything right at the same time. It's a step because
then they should get the
there's that
streaming
experience
right
where
first.
you go to a match center on a match day to cover the match. At the end of the match, you are there hoping to get into the post-match press conference, and all you will hear is, sorry, the coach is not available, and that's it.
Number one.
So I think it's a step.
It's a
step in
not
the
that,
right direction.
not
And the fine of 1 million. I don't think there's any club in the NPFL that will want to dish out 1 million naira as a fine.
Well, maybe the club will not dish out. It's the coach that will dish it out. The club will say, why didn't you? Because the club did not tell you not to do the press conference. But now, let's wait. How is press conference done in the NPFL? How do we have post-match conference? We are supposed to have pre-match conference, and we are supposed to have post-match conference. You see it in Europe. Not even in Europe. Other African nations. Anytime they want to have a post-match conference, the coach and the captain will sit. And media people will be asking them questions. Journalists will be asking them questions. But this one, they'll stand beside the pitch and they'll be using phone and they'll be doing this, they'll be recording and they'll be doing that. It doesn't make sense that way. Have they even proved? Okay, how do they want the post-match conference to look like? NPFL board was supposed to come out and say all the stadiums, you are supposed to have somewhere that the players and the coach will sit down, back maybe the logo of the league, the logo of the team they played against and all of that. Then everybody will sit down and start asking them questions. It's not like matches is done. The match is done and all the journalists will start looking for a way to go down to start collecting incepts or start asking questions and all of that. Then you now say as the coach will stand. It doesn't make that way. It doesn't make sense that way. This coach is not supposed to stand. He's supposed to sit down somewhere with the captain and do a proper post-match conference. So if they want to do it, they should arrange it well. Not saying that 1 million naira fine.
Trent.
Well, I didn't mean I was the coaching director or the head of coach in Nigeria. I would bring this to the NPFL because this is what they were supposed to look at. Now you have saying that if they don't do the post-match conference, they will be fined 1 million naira. Have you given us avenue to do the right things, the right facilities to do the post-match conference, and we are saying we are not going to do it? Have you ever seen in NPFL that the captain and the captain and the coach will sit down and do a proper post-match conference apart from standing?
Well, Trent, you just mentioned something now about the director of coaches in the country. We also have some other bodies like the Sports Writers Association. We have numerous bodies out there who are supposed to channel these concerns to the right authority. Are they doing that? I don't think so. Because if they are actually doing that, I think there will be some sort of response to some of these concerns. We had the AGM about a month ago.
Which was not visualized.
There is no communique from the AGM as to agreements that was reached. Okay, this is what we are going to see in the coming season. These are the things we abolish and all of that. We don't see these things.
The AGM.
So we only get to hear when something comes up. We hear like just this now. We hear, okay, they said this, and this is a concern that has been addressed. Why are we doing this? Why can't? Okay, I'm trying to not say this, but I think I should say it.
Say it.
Trent, why can't SWAN come out to make an official statement, channeling it to the NFF, and maybe NFF will respond and also act in the right direction? Why can't we have that happen?
It's not to the NFF, to the NPFL board.
No, hold on. About some weeks ago, when there was this prize money given to the WAFCON ladies, SWAN came out to protest that they should also be given something because they went there. They are the ones that made the achievement of the ladies public and all of that. Did they go there as SWAN, or they were just some individuals who went there? So when SWAN was making this claim, did they like? Who should we even listen to? Because is it the SWAN A or SWAN B?
The SWAN are not serious. First of all, it's not a serious body in Nigeria. No disrespect to them. I know they have worked hard, but they are not a serious body. If they were a serious body, the NFF would take them serious. But truth be told, they are not serious. I'm more serious than they are with my life. I'm more serious with my life than they are. They are not serious at all. This one are not serious because if they are serious, private individual will not be going to cover matches and they will be writing stories from what they are seeing online. SWAN, they don't understand the power they have. That's just it. They don't know the power they have. They don't know what they have in their hands. And I just hope that in the coming months or in the coming years, they restructure everything. The NPFL is starting now. SWAN have not come out with a good structure. They are not come out with the way that they are going to do the NPFL, run everything, the journalists and all of that.
No, hold on.
So
let me ask you.
I think
are you a member of the SWAN?
Me?
Yes.
Why are you asking me?
No, you said SWAN have not come out with a structure, a working structure for the NPFL season. So I want to know, are you a member of SWAN?
They have not come out with it now. I've not seen it anyway.
Are you a member of SWAN?
Why would you be asking me that kind
If you are a member of SWAN, maybe you would know. You would speak from a position where you know because you are a member, you are part of the team, so you will understand better.
If the SWAN comes out, they'll bring it to the media. What is their duty? You know, they tell the media what they feel is the truth and they will do their job. If they have come out with a good order and structure, they should bring it up. See, SWAN, I don't understand, but I think SWAN, Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, is revolving. Old men are too there. There are many. Old men are many there. There are some people that are not even supposed to be in that SWAN again. Old men are there. Young boys are the people doing the job of SWAN in Nigeria. Young boys are the people doing the job of SWAN in Nigeria. What are the old people doing? They are just receiving money monthly. The young lads are the ones doing the job of SWAN. What are we saying? Is it to write in newspaper? It's not to write in newspaper. What are you publishing online? Can we say Sport Writers Association of Nigeria will go to Google and we see them and we see a story about Nigerian sports? Yesterday. Sports stories are always every day, every minute. But can we go now on Google and type SWAN and see a story posted by a SWAN member? No. What are you saying? They are not doing their job. They should even dissolve them and bring another association.
Anyway, Trent.
The way they are dissolving other body, another body.
Until then, we'll see what happens to Nigerian football and Nigerian sports. I don't like that, actually. Until then, Trent, your parting shots.
Well, the NPFL will be there, inshallah. NPFL. I'm really happy. I'm excited that the NPFL is coming this week. After how many months? See, I was bored, but thank God for the locker room for keeping me lively. I'm really happy. But I'll be more happier, I'll be much happier when the NPFL kickstarts. See you there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the NPFL is here and we are excited, and we'll make sure we bring to you every update. As far as the NPFL is concerned this season, this is the Locker Room Central, and my name is Bill. Bye-bye. This is the Locker Room Central.
You're gonna love it.